It's Friday night and I can feel the excitement in the air. It's the weekend and I had really been looking forward to this Bollywood film night with my friends. The stage was set. I got my popcorns, my favorite snacks, and a cozy spot on the couch. It was a perfect recipe for a fun and entertaining evening. As the credits started to roll and music started to play, my excitement soared as if the kite had touched the wind. But a couple of minutes into the movie, I felt I was bored. Why such a drastic shift? No, it was not a horror movie. There was something off about it. The film, like many others, portrayed a young woman's journey into her sasural after marriage. The same old storyline about how a daughter-in-law goes to her sasural, faces challenges with her in-laws, and then the conflict. Sasural, mother-in-law, father-in-law. These words seem to have a deep-rooted effect on us and our mindset. They seem to carry with it a complex set of emotions, cultural expectations, and cultural norms. You see, Bollywood films and daily soap operas aren't just entertainment. They seem to change the way we think and feel about our relationships. Often, what is portrayed on screen becomes like a mirror for us to envision our life. You tell me how many times we start speaking in a different tonal accent after watching a Netflix show. We all seem to do that, don't we? A variety of studies shows how people learn from observing others, especially action depicted in the media. According to Journal of Women International Studies, participation of women in films can reinforce stereotypes, cultural norms, and impact women's well-being and thought process. And I ask, if thought process can be molded so easily, are we nurturing girls with the right thought process? And sadly, these films and daily soap operas aren't inflecting girls with the right thought process and emotions. Young girls begin to envision their lives behind these scripted dramas, pre-assumed roles of marriage and expectations long before they embark on their journey themselves. And as a result, a lot of Indian couples have decided to stay away from their parents after getting married. And according to a study, nuclear families are now the norm, accounting to 58.2% of the total households. And I ask, why? Have you ever thought of it? Having preconceived notions about how parents-in-laws are often creates fear among young women that they won't get the support that they're looking for in their careers. And they begin to question, how will be my life after marriage? And this might sound strange, couples are not talking about money, as quoted by Manmeet in Business Insider India. If couples are not talking about money, there are so many other topics on the table undiscussed. Before we got married, my husband Siddhant and I discussed about how do we want to shape our life? What is the kind of lifestyle we want? What goals do we have? We knew we could shape our life and share the same with our families. We discussed about sharing the responsibility together as a couple. And today, a lot of men are willing to contribute and manage the house together. And I count myself incredibly lucky that the in-laws that I live with have championed me in my career. But I ask, why does this narrative need to change? Why to love your in-laws? What will happen by having great relationship with your in-laws? By having great relationship with your in-laws, we can make the traditional family setups coexist with the woman's choice to pursue her career by choosing to love, choosing to connect, and choosing to complete each other's dreams. Dreams like increasing the women workforce participation in India, which is important for any country's growth, leading to better productivity and sets an example for future generation of brides. And that's why we need to change the narrative. That's why we need to have females believe in having a better relationship with their in-laws. You see, when I started on this front, I realized that how can I make this relationship work? What is that I can do that the relationship can take a better step forward? When our parents grew up and our parents-in-laws grew up, it was a different time in this country. They did not have their dreams fulfilled. When I look at this unconventional setup and why this works, three main factors emerge. First is the first 3 months of your relationship. It really sets the foundation of everything that follows. Any little disagreements and arguments in the first 3 months will be held onto and remembered. There will be disagreements in the beginning. When I look at this unconventional setup and why this works, three main factors emerge. First, the first 3 months of your relationship. The first 3 months of your relationship really sets the foundation for everything that follows. There will be disagreements and arguments. And when these arguments happen, I ask, what do we do? What if your mother-in-law pointed you out for leaving the sock on the floor that has been lying for hours? What do we do? Hello, Mummy, you know my mother-in-law pointed me out for leaving the sock on the floor. It was just a sock. Why did she have to do that? And a couple of days later, Papa, do you know my father-in-law pointed me out for parking the car incorrectly? Why did he have to do that? Be very mindful of what you choose to share with your parents because they will remember it forever. What is small to you will stick in their minds forever. They are living miles away from you. What you tell them matters to them. Clearly, if there is a problem and you need to share it with someone, then you must tell it. But those daily little cries, keep it to yourself. We do have disagreements and arguments with our own parents, right? Then why treat a disagreement as an argument? Second, give and take. We all know relationships are about give and take. You need to ask yourself, how can I give back and what can I bring to the table if you want your parents-in-laws to be supportive of your dreams too? I, like a curious child, always look at fulfilling their wishes just like I would do for my own parents. Papa is interested in numismatics, so I'm always on a lookout for finding the rare currency that could add to his treasure. Mummy has been interested in astrology. We encouraged her and almost pressurized her and enrolled her into the astrology program. Take interest in what interests them. Ask questions. What will emerge is the opportunity to talk about what matters to you too. Third, embrace the difficult. Living with new people is difficult for everyone, but you get to choose what you bring to the table and how you shape your life. The day I moved in with my husband's parents, I asked myself, what can I bring to the house? How can I bring more joy to the family? And I decided to bring the best version of myself. Being a Punjabi, being extravagant, and being loud is in my blood. I decided to bring that loudness, that happiness, those little gestures into the family. Celebrating every little occasion, cutting the cake at 12 in the night, and not being the normal bahu of the family, as the tradition goes. I am a hugger. I hug my mother-in-law and my father-in-law too. The key is to bring the best version of yourself to the family. I know it will take time and it's not simple. But remember, your parents-in-law as well are learning to live with new people. Relationship with your in-laws, like all other relationships, are reciprocal. We are like a mirror. We will only see what we sow into the relationship. Loving your in-laws and in-laws loving the new daughters is vital for the success of our country. We don't want to lose the tradition of intergenerational families living together. We don't want to lose the sense of belonging. We don't want to lose the emotional support. And we don't want to lose living together and creating strong bonds. And how do we do that? By having a strong foundation with your parents-in-laws, which is actually the family you will live for the rest of your life. Before we end, I would like to share something. I'm the kind of woman who would cry sitting at the salon getting her eyebrows plucked. Yet I withstood the pain of getting various tattoos on my body. And I want to tell you about this one tattoo. This says Mapa and the names of my mother-in-law and father-in-law. I withstood the pain because I loved them. I love them like my own. Because we have built such a strong foundation of our relationship, they are just not my parents-in-laws. They are my parents too. And my big idea is just not to learn how to live with your in-laws, but to love your in-laws. And that is how women, families, and the country will grow. My name is Manmeet. Thank you.